Good morning, people. It's Monday, the 29th of October, and I want to chit-chat at you a little bit this morning about some things on my mind. Music is part of it, but mostly not. I'm not into Halloween, so I won't be doing any Halloween-related videos. I never do. I want to thank Bob Burnside for once again being kind to me and sending me his latest music. I haven't opened this yet, Bob. I haven't listened to it. I'm going to be honest with you. But what he did send me that I want to talk about today was he sent me a book because I've talked about in the past about a book that I got turned on to that changed my life. I can't in a really good way. I've got all the books except for the main one. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is the companion book, which is kind of a workbook. Years ago, at my old job as a community mental health worker, there was an older guy on the staff there who was really irreverent, and I liked him. His name was Ray. He was funny because he was he actually was at the original Woodstock back in '69. And he had that whole vibe. It's like, yeah, man, cool, whatever, kind of, irreverent. Almost seemed like a dimwit, but not really, obviously, because, when you watched Ray do his work, he was brilliant. Anyway, out of the blue one day, he came up to me and showed me the book and told me, this book, you need this book. Something to that effect. And I thought he was joking because of, how my impression of him. But he was right. The book changed my life. The Four Agreements, okay? Since then, his son, it's not the writer. I'm just showing these books because people have sent them to me. His son wrote a book called The Fifth Agreement, trying to follow up on this logic. And then he also wrote this book called The Mastery of Self, which is a workbook. But Bob Burnside just sent me a new Don Miguel Ruiz book called The Three Questions, which I had heard about. Now, what I like about these books, it's the message, not the messenger. It's good information that is useful if you want to use it. I've shared what the Four Agreements are with people, and there's been a few folks who have poo-pooed it, but the main reason why I think people don't like it is because they don't like it. It's useful information. Anyone that takes the Four Agreements and works with them, it's going to help you. The Four Agreements, right quick, are to be impeccable with your word. This is why I don't accept, I try to be cool what I say, and that's why I don't accept bullshit from other people, okay? Speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others, okay? That's the first agreement. It makes sense, okay? Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. That's why even people who come over here and try to make jokes with me who I don't know, I just delete them. I don't know you. I don't know the context. And many times jokes are a subtle way of putting people down. I'm really aware of it. So that's the first agreement, which I'm constantly trying to be aware of. Number two, and this one is real tough, and most people just lose it here. The second agreement that'll improve your life, it's helped mine, is don't take anything personally. Look how he describes it. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. This is very true. We live in the mind, that's why I say that. Their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering, which is why I make the comments I say, because based on my history online, some people think they know something about me which isn't true, and they try to bring it up as though, gotcha. And the thing is, it was a smear campaign from the beginning. Someone was trying to hurt me, and I don't take it personally because I know it's something wrong with them. So this has been very helpful to me, not just with that, but with a lot of things. It helps me to understand the motivation behind people's behavior. It's not because of me, it's because of you. And this really helps me to identify good people as well as total assholes, especially in person. Number three, these are hard, but they make so much sense. That's why I'm sharing it and why I try to use it. The third agreement to help your life is don't make assumptions. The whole reason why the country is in a quagmire now is because people have split up, chosen sides, and they continue to make assumptions about the actions, thoughts, and motivations of the others. Listen to this. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really mean, what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. This one agreement can really change things. Right now, everyone, like I said, is acting like their heads are on fire. They don't listen. They just want to push their point of view on others. And people just assume, like this whole thing with the, all the shootings, all the assumptions being made and no solutions. So these help me to deal with this mad, crazy world and all the unscrupulous people who have bad intent that I have to deal with. I mean, there's a lot of you out there. And number 4 is always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. And this is really important because I live by my code, not by yours, not by someone else's. Someone will come by and say, I don't like, you don't dress the way you should dress, or, you're listening to that, or, why haven't you changed your sweater? You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We all live in the mind, and I see that your mind is no important than mine, and I don't live in yours. So when you come to me with your agenda, I see it. So I want to thank Bob for sending me this book, The 3 Questions, because it's an adjunct. I kind of needed a refresher. The 3 questions are, who am I? What is real? And what is love? And that last question is really important because things not done out of love, boy, what good are they? Look at what's happening in the world today. Look at the world leaders. I'll start right there. Nothing Donald Trump is doing is out of love. Nothing. He might love his kids, maybe, but it does. And see, that's a separate issue. But him doing his job, there's no love there. Okay, there's no love there for the common man, for the country. And that's another thing, is that I do understand that because of the Act of 1871, the United States is a corporation. It's no longer the United States of America. And a lot of people want to argue about this, but the information is right there. So no wonder these politicians and corporations do what they do, because legally they can. They're just being, and we're stupid thinking we still live in a democracy. Okay? That's why this was really good. What is real? Most everything that is reported in the news, the way that it's tainted is not real. And yet this is the information that the average person runs on, and they think that that's the real world, and consequently people will come at you as though they know what's going on, talking about something they saw on CNN, have never had personal experience or done any investigation beyond what's on the television, and they're talking, and these are great numbers of people talking to each other as though they know what they're saying. And there's other people who have actual experience as well as some objectivity, and those voices are not being heard. Bob Burnside, thank you very much for this book. I just want to share that, because as much as I share good music, I want to share that we as individuals really need to wake up to the power that we have to save ourselves, to save the future, which we're not. It's just going to, it's going to go belly up and then start all over again in a few generations. I don't know. But still, as a person who sees it, I got to report on it. And this is my way of trying to be helpful. When I was a little boy, and Martin Luther King was the deal in the 60s, and my parents and my grandparents and other people around me, they picked up on my essence, even when I was only 5 years old. And they saw how my nature and how I cared and how I spoke to people and how I was very caring. And they said, that boy's going to be a preacher. He could be another Martin Luther King. And I took it seriously at first because it gave me importance. But as I watched to see what they do to good people, Anyone that tries to speak truth to power, they murder, they kill him. Okay? So this is my way of actually being the person that I always was. Not in some stupid church, not espousing some religious dogma, but trying to speak about the reality that I'm experiencing. Okay? That's all I'm saying here, you know. Thanks for the book, Bob. And people, examine yourselves. You know, some of you people who are rotten to the core, get a grip. You know, shoot some arrows of love at yourself instead of shooting darts of hate towards others, which are actually meant for yourself. I see this clearly, and it's really inescapable when it comes to human behavior. I have conversations with people about this stuff, and people who want to say that this, what I'm sharing, is not real or beneficial. I haven't had one of them tell me something that is useful against it. It doesn't make sense that choosing sides and being hateful and I'm better than you and my race is better than yours and because I have money I deserve this, that is not right. You can rationalize it, but that shit ain't right. Having love for the self, extending that love and care of the self towards the next person, just makes too much sense. It's just too hard. That's what I got to say today.